welcome you all to the October Chamber Luncheon. I'm so excited to be here, so excited to see all of your faces. Thank you for taking the time out of your day and spending it with us. This is an incredible, incredible day we have planned, a great celebration and much to be proud of and excited for. So on behalf of the Vicksburg Warren Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome you and thank you for being here. At this time, I would like to recognize our elected officials. We have with us Mayor George Flaggs. We have Jeff Holland, member of the Board of Supervisors, and we also have with us the President of the Board of Supervisors, Kelly Barfield, and we also have our school board members, Jim Sturgis Jr., Brian Pratt, Kimball Slayton, and then Coach Alonzo Stevens and Sally Bullard could not be here with us. But thank you all so much for being here, and we're honored to have you in our presence with us. I would like to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, the newly known Cadence Bank, formerly known as Bancorp South. Thank you so much for sponsoring today. You each have a coffee mug and a few goods of new marketing products of Cadence Bank. And at this time, I'm going to ask Mark Bass to come give the invocation and lead us in the pledge, and then he's going to share just a little bit about the Cadence announcement. So.
Thank you, Anna Swift. Let's bow our heads, please. God, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Lord, we thank you for all the blessing of this life that you've just bestowed upon us. And God, we just can't thank you enough, most importantly, for the price you paid for us on the cross. The shedding of your blood so our sins can be forgiven and washed clean so we can have everlasting life with you. Lord, we thank you again for today that we get to celebrate great happening in our community and more to come on that. But God, we just thank you for the food you've given us. We pray for nourishing our body needs. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. While I have the podium, I'm going to take advantage of it. Is that okay, Pablo? Thank you. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I would just like to say, on behalf of all $48 billion assets of Cadence Bank, congratulations to the Vicksburg Warren School District for getting your B rating. Outstanding, guys. We can't thank you enough. All of us involved in economic development knows how crucial that is, and the best is still yet to come. Great job. And of course, we thank Mr. Shealy and the Board of Education and so forth, but it's the teachers, who gets the real credit for it. That's where they're in the trenches, doing hard work, and also at home. So thank you for all you do. Just real quick about Cadence Bank. If you didn't know, Monday we officially changed our name from Bancorp South Bank to Cadence Bank. There's a merger that took place, and we acquired that bank, but we decided to take their name because it gave us any issues regarding territory. So, because our plans are to move west, east, further, up north, and Cadence Bank is a great name, and so we were almost a merger of equals, but we were the lead bank. So don't let that's what people are asking. They're asking, why are you changing your name if you're the lead bank? I said, well, call Tupelo, ask them. I can't, but I'm all with it. Our paychecks are still coming, and we're good, and we're glad. So, but as Anna Elizabeth said, we have a little happy for you coffee mug. If you really want to hurt my feelings, don't take one with you, okay? David Blackledge, you're excused, okay? But please, this is on behalf of us to y'all. Thank you for helping Bancorp South, Cadence Bank, be the biggest bank in Vicksburg, and it means a lot to us. And thank you for our association with the Vicksburg Warren School District over the years. Can't say thank you enough. So now, Anna Elizabeth, turn it back over to you.
I'm already going to get a little ahead of the game. One thing he did forget to mention that I forgot last luncheon was that they are having some door prizes afterwards to give away. That's what your ticket was for. I kind of forgot that a little bit last month. But anyway, all right, I'm going to remember it this time. But thank you so much. I want to welcome our new member this month of the Rose of Clay Street, that's Lori Fagan. We're glad to have her officially be a part of the board, even though we already claimed her. And at this time, it is my honor to bring Pablo Diaz, our Executive Director and President, up to introduce our keynote speaker for today.
All right. Thank you, Anna Elizabeth. And I'm going to read just a little bit of Chad's bio, and everybody knows Chad, so I'm not going to read all of it, but I think it's important, a few things about him. Superintendent Shealy, he began his work in Vicksburg, Warren, as a reminder in 2013, when academic scores, graduation rates, and overall community engagement were really at an all-time low for Vicksburg and Warren County. We know this, and his ability to ask challenging questions and to work towards real solutions has resulted in the implementation of many new programs focused on improving student outcomes and preparing each child for college, career, and life. Okay? College, career, and life. College, career, and life. That's a huge differentiator for us, because most other communities are going to say for college and alone, nothing but college, okay? So under his leadership, our school district was named one of the state's first districts of innovation by the Mississippi Department of Education. They expanded the pre-K program from classrooms to 17, ensuring the youngest students get the head start they need to be successful. They increased the students' enrollment on the STEM middle school by over 300 and created, as we know, the early college program where students can earn an associate degree at the same time that they are earning their high school diploma. 4-year graduation rates, as we know, they are now at an all-time high. And I think we are also the school district with the highest number of, students taking college grades. That's right? Yeah, I remember that. So, when I moved here 5 years ago, it's about to be 5 years ago, I met with everybody in the community, and of course, Chad was one of the people that I met with, and you could see the passion that he has about education and in the community. And as we, got into the economic development and the strategic plan, and we met with the school board, and we met with the teachers, and get to know what goes on in our district, you could really see that passion not only at the top, but more importantly at the bottom, right? And just surging and coming up through the center. And you could see that people really cared about what they're trying to do with our school district. So I think on behalf of economic development, we never had a doubt that we were going to move from where we were to a better place. We never doubted it, and we don't check Facebook, okay? So the naysayers, we don't really care. We don't talk about them in our board meetings. But we just knew that with that kind of commitment, and that kind of commitment to the future of the kids, okay? Because people across the state, when I meet with other economic developers and other leaders, and I talk about my community and I talk about my school district, I'm talking about, we're teaching for the 4 E's, and we are not teaching to the test, and we are focusing on what human beings need to be successful in any way that they choose to be successful after they graduate. And people look at me like I have four heads, but after we talk a little bit, they go like, man, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of humanity in that approach that you're telling me the school district in Warren County has. And that makes me proud, makes our community proud, and so we are now to the B, and really is because of that passion that Chad and his entire team and all of the students and the teachers and the parents and the administration has. He's a native of Byron, Mississippi, and he and his wife Shannon reside in Vicksburg with their 3 sons. When he's not in his office, he can be found cheering on his son's baseball game, as you can see on Facebook, or spending time outdoors hunting or fishing, also with his kids. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Shealy.
Well, I got a head start on No Shade November. This is still the same guy that's on the picture up there. Not really sure what else I can say, to be honest with you. It's an amazing time to be in this work. When you talk about the obstacles that our staff had overcome over the last few years, and record numbers of educators leaving this business, we maintained. Our folks, our people stayed, and they worked extra hard through times that were insurmountable in the face of education. And I commend them. I'm going to show a quick video before I begin to help you not go to sleep during this time where you're digesting all that wonderful fried fish. And we're going to just take just a second and look at the video that the communications partners have put together for us.
We have so much to celebrate here in the Vicksburg Warren School District. This year, more than ever, we are proud of the accomplishments of our students and staff as we have adapted quickly to the many challenges before us. We have learned, pivoted, practiced, persevered, and gotten better despite our obstacles. The School Board of Trustees has, for years, been working to transform this district and to support the teaching and skills of students needed to be successful in college, career, and in life. A few of those crucial pieces, I believe, include expanding our pre-K program from 4 to 17 classrooms so that every family has the opportunity to enroll their young children in early education and give their child a head start to learning. Building relevancy into our high school models through the creation of the Vicksburg Warren College and Career Academies. This model allows all high school students to understand why they are learning specific skills and how they will apply the skill in a career path of their choosing. Visioning with students well beyond their walk across the stage of graduation. Students decide what path they want to take after high school. Enroll in college, enlist in the military, be employed with credentials that will help them go directly into the workforce or become an entrepreneur. And we work with experts in each area to be sure that our students are ready for their next steps. By implementing a framework and a system of collaboration amongst building leaders and district level administrators to achieve wildly important goals. Increasing the number of students who understand how to set, track, and achieve academic and personal goals. Forming strategic partnerships with employers, university, and community college have allowed our students to be better prepared for next steps after graduation. Investing $143 million into the important upgrades to our facilities across the district to make our buildings safe and support the great work that was already happening inside. This back-breaking effort has paid off in many ways, and now we can add that we have successfully moved from a D-rated school district to a B-rated school district. This rating, although from a flawed accountability model, is important to our community and to the economic development in the region. This score is one of many achievements that the district, our board, students, teachers, principals, staff members, and families have worked tirelessly to reach. I hope you will join me in congratulating them on this most recent and exciting accomplishment. I am proud of each and every one of them. Their dedication, their commitment to do what is right for children, and their determination not to give up inspires me, and I hope it inspires you too. The strategies I mentioned earlier, along with a lot of grit and hard work by teachers, principals, students, families, and staff, have helped us move forward in amazing ways. Some of the successes we've seen include achieving the highest four-year graduation rate we've ever had. 80 students in the past 3 years have earned an associate's degree at the same time they have earned their high school diploma. In that same time period, our kids have earned 21,063 college credit hours for free, saving their families over $16 million in tuition expenses. 6 schools have earned Franklin Covey's Lighthouse status and now are the example schools for student and staff leadership. Our students are earning college credits from every career and technical education course, from welding and carpentry to biomedical and engineering. Our students are learning in beautiful new learning spaces, and student athletes are competing in safe and updated facilities that are amazing and world-class, and much more. So congratulations to every one of our students, our families, our teachers, principals, staff, and community partners. We know how hard you have worked to earn this score. I couldn't be more proud of you. For our ongoing supporters and those who have been a part of our success, I thank you. Together is better, and we couldn't have done this without you. Together, we have been courageous and committed to staying connected, building relationships, and helping one another. Our voice of purpose is strong, and we remain, as always, dedicated to changing the trajectory of each student and the community for the better. Be brilliant, be bold, and be proud. Warren County, we did it.
That was a great video. Y'all are the first ones to see it. Christy and her team put those facts and that video together, and they actually made me sound okay, which is sometimes difficult to do. A couple of things I believe. First of all, as good as we are, we're choosing to be better. We did not, and don't throw food at me, we did not set out to be a B. We did not set out to be an A. We did what research says was going to improve the learning of students. This is a byproduct of the path that we're choosing to continue to move down. Those of you that, I had a wonderful lunch that was, celebration was thrown for us for some community members a few months back, or a few weeks ago. Feels like forever ago, a few weeks ago. And I told them that one time I went on a trip to Disney World. And we planned on that trip. Well, I take that back. My wife planned for that trip. I participated and bought what I was supposed to and showed up when I did. And this V reminds me a lot about that trip, right? When we set off and we first told the kids, hey, we're going to get to go to Disney World. They were so excited. They'd never been before. They were pumped. They were ready. We bought everything Mickey Mouse you could find. I mean, it was so exciting that the prospect of getting to go somewhere that we'd always wanted to go, right? And the work of hard work, and this has been very hard work. Hats off to our teachers. They had done a lion's share of the work in this district to make sure that our students get what they need. Because all the plans in the world don't matter if they're not executed in the classroom. So fundamentally, it's them making that happen. The administrators are the most important administrators in our district are at the building level. They know this. Everybody knows this. It's not me or anybody that works at central office. Those principals have done a lion's share of work. They made these things happen. Hats off to them too. And I don't know that they were as excited as my kids were to go to Disney World when we began to share where we were headed. But I know that they were excited to the commitment about what research would do. Doing hard things runs on an excitement level, right? It's good and easy to start things. It's fun to start new stuff. It's fun to consider being different than where you are. Because quite frankly, if you want the same thing you got, keep doing what you're doing. We did not as a district. The board has done an incredible job of setting a vision. They told us very clearly when we took administration here and we began to work to make things better. They told us exactly where they wanted to go and exactly what they wanted to accomplish. They had a visioning session that was incredible. And it was bold. We exceeded almost every one of those. Even though they were bold goals to begin with, we've exceeded those. But it was fun to think about starting something. And quite frankly, it's fun to end something, right? You know, it's fun to end something. It's fun to celebrate, and it's fun. The hard work is in the muddy middle, right? We had a muddy middle trip on our little Disney trip because we intended to drive all the way through. We were headed straight to Disney World nonstop, and Dad was going to drive. Well, there were some things that occurred along the way that didn't allow us to do that, and we had to take an exit that we weren't expecting to take because there was construction. We had to get a hotel that we would never stay in for any reason in the world because it was the only one available along the way, right? And that was the way this trip took us. We began work that we knew was going to happen. This bee did not shock me, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, 2019, we do benchmark assessments, and I'm not going to give you all the stuff that I love. As a matter of fact, data is my love language. It's sickening, actually. Research and data is all I read other than the Bible. And one of the things that we began to look at is the way that our data was projecting us during 2019. And at December, we take a benchmark assessment, right? And that's just an internal thermometer for us to say, hey, how far along are we and where are we headed? In December, pre-COVID, we were about 8 points shy of a B rating then, with a half a year left to teach. We were so excited. I've never been more excited to take a state test in my life. I know the kids hate them and I hate them, but I was like, we're here. We're here. Then March 15th, we had to take an exit we weren't expecting to take. And we did not get the opportunity to affect that rating that defined us. And quite frankly, the rating systems are what they are. I'm not going to badmouth them, even though I think they're terrible in its structure. But I can tell you, if you ask me the temperature of the Ross Barnett Reservoir, or Eagle Lake, or Sardis Lake, or any other large body of water, by measuring one tiny point, it would be very difficult to give me an overall assessment of how valuable or at what the temperature is. That's what this is. This is a sip through a straw. There are tons of things that are not there that should be, because not everything that counts is counted. But it is what it is. So along that way, in that muddy middle, we were able to continue to work through some of the most tumultuous times to be an educator ever. We had difficulties with even re-engaging some students, rightly so, because there was legitimate and great fear around the COVID-19 issue. There were lots of families that were on opposite sides of the fence. We dealt with families that thought, I don't know why we're having anything different. All the way to we have bunkers in the ground and we're not coming out until this is over, and all in between that. And getting students re-engaged during that time was one of our difficult tasks. Fortunately, our board was visionary in the sense that most districts were receiving their Chromebooks from the State Department for the first time in their district, mass quantities, and they were finding out what it meant in a rush to be one-to-one. We had actually done it 5 years prior to. Day 2 of March 15th, we did take an extra few days for spring break, but we cut our asynchronous instructional delivery system on 9,000 logins on day 2. So with that being said, we were way ahead of the game as it relates to continuing to increase education. Now, is online as good as being in the face of a teacher? Absolutely not. You're not going to hear me say that. But we did continue education, and we're able to continue during those times. So the other thing we do is we've got a B now. And I don't want you to misinterpret this statement or this analogy for me to think that we're at Disney World, because we're not. But if you've ever been to Disney World, when you cross the threshold of the entrance, they got this huge gate. It says Walt Disney World Resort, and it's got Mickey and Goofy and everybody at the top, and the kids went crazy because you could see the ride, you could see the entrance, you knew what was coming, right? That's what this is to us. It is an indicator of the direction that we had chosen to go, and we are moving in the right direction. There's a lot of data points out there to prove that, and have been for a while. We didn't get to take, we did not receive a rating for 2 years, even though people continued to say we had a rating. We did not have one for 2 years because it wasn't issued for 2 years. So we were very thankful to get the opportunity to finally re-engage in this. I'm not happy to re-engage in state testing because I think it ought to go out completely, because I believe in teachers' professionalism and the way that they are able to teach better when high-stakes assessments aren't there. However, it is the game that we have to play as educators in the state of Mississippi. With this, there were several data points that you'll see at your table, and I wanted to share a few of those. And I had to borrow an older gentleman's glasses in this room to, because I left mine at home. One of the things that I do think is noteworthy in the first bullet, it references a little thing called River City Early College High School. That was a dream the day I showed up, and my wonderful board has supported this crazy guy that's off the chain a lot of times. We talked about building football backs. We talked about doing things that had never been done, and they supported me and supported me in supporting their vision early on. And one of the things we wanted students graduating with associate's degrees from this district. Got a friend of mine in Texas that has a district. They've been doing it for 5 years. Why the heck can't this happen in Mississippi, even though it was almost unheard of? So we began a structure that allowed us to partner with multiple universities to earn dual credit. And dual credit is a class that a student in high school takes while they're still in high school, and they earn a college course and a high school course at the same time. We also offer dual enrollment. Dual enrollment is different. Dual enrollment means you are a high school student that is enrolled in a college class that doesn't count for a high school class. So in combination of those, we do a lot of excess college. That required us to restructure our entire educational model. We had to make sure that we had Carnegie units that were pushed down into the junior high. So students are earning up to 6 Carnegie units while they're in junior high before they ever enter. We also have online courses that are available to be offered in the summer, up to 2 per summer that a student can take off of that. Because the way that a high school graduate works is you have to get 28 college, or 26, depending on which direction they head with that, Carnegie units. Well, you can't put anything on a plate until you take something off a plate. So we began to shove these down, and we made the opportunity for us to do that. In our District of Innovation application, we were granted a School of Innovation status for the River City Early College, which was great and allowed us to continue to do what we've been doing once we started. River City Early College does not receive its own accountability score because they go back, it's a program that's open to both high schools. And that particular high school does not receive a rating that is published in the paper, but it does receive a cumulative rating that we submit to our MDE for the reauthorization of our School of Innovation status. River City Early College High School is the highest performing school in the state of Mississippi. So it didn't just need to be stated that it's an A, even though that's what it said. At the time, MDE had not submitted the scale score. So I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 points higher than any other school anywhere. You pick a community and you go, mine's better, right? So inside of that, the other thing that the board wanted us to do is make sure that our students were learning, and we focus heavily on that. And somebody's going to have to keep up with my time. It doesn't matter. It looks like I got a lot of employees in here that can look at me and check their finger. They decided that we wanted to make sure that our kids were prepared for school. So we started a partnership with the lots of people, actually. The United Way, the city's library system. The city was a part of our initial production of an Excel by 5 community designation. And what that began to do is give us the opportunity to reach out even before our kids got to us and give them resources so that they could be prepared the day they walked in. We took an MCAS assessment, and it's the Mississippi Kindergarten Readiness Assessment. It's one thing we love to do in this state is test children to death. So we test them the moment they walk in. We want to just go ahead and get them ready for the misery for the next 13 years, right? So we found out some data early on that our students were about 22 scale score points behind the state average in entry to our school district, which meant that we were already at a deficit moving forward. So we put some things in place there. The board approved and did not receive additional funding for this, by the way, because pre-K is not mandatory. It's just mandatory in its regulations once you say you're going to have one. But there is no reporting of our funds that come in, so they were very brave in establishing this. And what this gave us an opportunity to do is begin something called a system. Those of you that are in engineering, those of you that are in any business that's successful, whatever you're doing is getting you your results. One thing I know for certain, every organization is perfectly designed to get the results it's getting. Every time. What you engineer is what you're going to end up with. Now, what you make plans for and what actually gets executed sometimes can be different, but we knew beyond the shadow of a doubt if we had kids that far behind that there was going to be difficulty getting them where they need it. So we have our pre-Ks in place. I think we have 17 now, and the opportunity for our students to excel. As a matter of fact, pre-COVID, we had a little school called Sherman Avenue, and they were the second highest pre-K school in the state of Mississippi. Again, it was what we did that made the difference. Now, when you talk about creating longitudinal structures, those take multiple years to get a graduate. Now, I have not been here long enough to have anybody who's been all mine by any case, but when you look at the way the assessment scores in this particular rating, that doesn't start until 3rd grade. You don't get growth until 4th grade. So if you consider a pre-K student, pre-K, K, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Everybody see those numbers? So when you talk about long-time benefits of what has already been done, that's what we're beginning to see. And if you look at our metrics as we've gone through this system, and I'd like to point, I appreciate Pablo talking about Facebook. I've got a quote I use often, and it says, if you stop to throw rocks at every barking dog, you'll never get where you're going. That's from Winston Churchill, by the way. We committed to what research said, and we knew that if we doubled down on early ed, our students would achieve better. Reading, language, we doubled down on that. We made sure that our professional learning was tied to where we needed to go. Those structures that are in place were there for these results that you're going to see are at your table. Students are graduating at the highest rate ever. We had an original goal that was to increase the graduation rate, which I think was at, 50 some odd percent. The board said we want to increase that by 20. We have, it's 89 right now and projected to be higher. So we were able to meet and exceed that particular goal. When you talk about 80 students, there's another district, very great district with an incredible leader who is very innovative also, who was bragging about their 3 years. They had 16 students graduate with associate's degrees, which I'm very thankful and proud of them for that. We've had 80. That is something that is remarkable. If you haven't taken time to go see this stuff firsthand and put your eyes on what's happening in your community, I encourage you to do so. It's absolutely remarkable. We have engaged in courses, and one of the things that we chose to do, CTE is fantastic, right? Historically, and CTE, for those of you that don't get caught up in the educational jargon, that's career tech education. That has gotten a black eye for a whole lot of years. It was relegated to the students who can't do this, do that. The problem is only 31% of the people that live in Mississippi have an associate's degree or above. Let that sink in. The majority of people that live in Mississippi that are workable age do not have an associate's degree. Do not. When you talk about, it's only 18,000 of us. It's only, 18,000 have a master's degree or higher. And when you start talking about that, we're down to minimal percentages of what the whole focus is. And Pablo talked about districts that are only focused on graduating college and going to college. Nothing wrong with that. I did for a long time. My parents loved it, right? But what we wanted to do is create a scaffolding where we engineered mindset to value education in CTE also. My best friend, one of my best friends, wrote a $280,000 check for some hunting property about a year ago. I couldn't do that to save my life. Guess what he started in? Air conditioner repair. He owns his own business right now. He does industrial HVAC installation. He's a millionaire, I'm not, right? So when you start talking about what's important, we have sold a lie to students that if you go to college, you're going to be successful. Well, statistics say if you go to college, most of you are going to drop out. 44% of you will not be in a junior college by your second year. 36% of you will not be in an IHL. That's your best of the best of the best that we're getting in. 36%. So we couldn't sell that lie anymore and say what Pablo said, because we have a mission and a vision, and it is we want to graduate every student college, career, and life prepared. College, career, and life prepared, and they're equal. Nothing wrong. So we had to treat CTE equally. So when we went in with the idea, we weren't going to use the CTE courses as, cool electives anymore. They were going to be college classes. If you're going to waste your time doing something, we want to make sure it's meaningful. That's the way we took that perspective. And we have a partnership with Hines Community College. Wonderful partnership. Incredible college. They have the highest dual credit. They have the second highest performing or participating dual credit school district in the state of Mississippi is Rankin County. Guess where their memorandum came from? Vicksburg Warren. Guess which district junior colleges with? Hines Community College, right? So we have students who are taking dual credit college courses, and they can still go to college. Nothing wrong with that, because they're in college then too, because it's college courses, right? We're very proud to say that we, for the last 3 years running, could be more than that, I only saw the data for the last 3. We are the highest performing district in participation in dual credit in the state of Mississippi, and we are not the largest by far. Back to my classes. Seniors earned, the last graduating senior group earned 5,928 semester hours of college credit. That's incredible. Since 2020, those 80 students that graduated from River City Early College High School with an associate's degree, some of them are now completing master's degrees in a time that it was 2 years early. So we have a higher, because I tell people all the time, and I speak all over really and regionally all over the United States. I've spoken all the way over the place in New York and Chicago, and I was at the Georgia's governor had me speak to their whole commission on workforce development. And I'll tell you that I want to take everybody else's jobs. I want the students who graduate from the Vicksburg Warren County School District to be able to be employed right here in town and pay taxes, right here in the city, right here in the county, supervisors, mayor, buy houses. But I also want them to take jobs of everywhere they want to go in this world, and we're giving them a heads up. They're getting a head start. They're more qualified. They do that largely due to the partnerships in this room. Some of you have had teachers that have been on your campus for externships. You allow my teachers to come see what real work looks like. So when you have an academy model and you restructure education to look like work, well, folks got to know what work looks like, right? Because if they're like me, maybe they spent most of their time in school and then went to school and then came back and were in the school classroom teaching, right? And when you talk about what your businesses look like, sometimes they don't look anything like a regular educational environment. Very frequently, they don't look anything like a regular educational environment. So we wanted to make sure that when we're recreating that, we were able to do that with our teachers. Also, you let our students come out and do internships and job shadow experiences. Some of them during the summer, some of them after school. We got an HVAC academy that we were able to produce where the students are participate at 18 years old. They graduate, everything is taken by January, December, and then they start a full rotation through 8 hours a day through 6 different businesses in HVAC. And they're on site at work every single day earning credits through Hines Community College. The thing I know, there is no way that this country boy could have done anything without the right environment and the right people. And the people in this room helped this happen. Now this is our ward, no doubt about it. But there's no way the structures that I described to you today could have been tolerated if we didn't have supportive business. Our chamber, I'm looking at a guy right now, it's our workforce engagement chair, a lady right now that is my equal on my Ford NGL partnership. Without the commitment of people that really know work, we couldn't have done this. I could go through this room and name each one of you. You've been there for us. This is your award too. This is your rating too. You did hard work to get us where we needed to go. And we're not stopping until we get to Disney World. And Disney World is every student graduating this district, this college, career, and life prepared. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shealy. Wow, we are just thrilled, and what an amazing just honor it is just to be a part of this community. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for chasing those goals and the teamwork of all of you to get us where we are. We are certainly so proud. So let's just give the B one more round of applause. Just to piggyback of what he said about business partners in the community, Dr. McClin kind of heads that that up. So if your business is not has not have partnered with the Vicksburg Warren School District yet, you have an opportunity to do that today, or at least just pick one of these papers up. You can. They are constantly. The district is constantly looking for new businesses to partner with to, facilitate more job shadowing opportunities. Mock interviews, certain things like that that actually brings the students to the workforce. So you can apply and take up one of these. They're right here on the table. So if you are interested in doing that, learn a little bit more about it, I know Dr. James, Dr. McClin will be happy to talk to you about it. That is one of the reasons why we do have such a successful graduating rate and preparing our students for the future. So they're right there on the table. Get one before you leave. A couple of announcements just going forward. We will be rolling out the voting for the logo for the Vicksburg Bicentennial Celebration. So that will be coming out in the next few days, and it'll be unveiled at Porch Fest on the weekend of October 29th. Our first session for Leadership Vicksburg will be next week, October 19th, and the class will be touring the Academy of Innovation and Beaumont Elementary, which goes perfectly with our theme here today, which we're super excited for these community leaders to just see hands-on what's going on in our education system in the city. Second Saturday will be November 12th. The Governor's Job Fair is happening tomorrow here at the Convention Center from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We do need a few more ambassadors to volunteer to help for that. So if you're not signed up yet, see me after and we'll make that happen. Supper on the SIP is tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow evening from 6 to 8. Super exciting event, huge event and a benefit for United Way. Ribbon cutting next week, October 20th at 11 a.m. for Lindsay Dito and a State Farm Insurance agent. And then we had to push it back a week, but we have October 27th is our Young Professionals revamp. It's going to be a social at M City right across the street. We had to push it back due to the Warren Central Homecoming Parade, which is happening next week. So it's the 27th on a Thursday of October. Then we have Porch Fest, which is the last weekend of October. Going to be lots of live music, vendors, booths. So it's always a good time and exciting time for Vicksburg. And then the CPC annual banquet will be November 3rd from 6:30 to 8:30. If you would like to purchase a ticket, you can contact Shannon at the CPC banquet or call them. It's on Facebook. So a couple of more things that I would like to mention. Bella Vita Photography is hosting a Toys for Tots drive to benefit the children of Vicksburg and Warren County. That's going to be November 19th from 10 to 2, and you will receive a 5x7 portrait with Santa with your toy donation valued at $25. So if you have any kids, grandkids that would love a picture with Santa, bring some toys to benefit for some children, and you can get your picture with Santa. And also, Mandy Harris and Rachel Hollowell have just officially been named the directors for the Miss Vicksburg and Miss Vicksburg's Outstanding Teen pageant, and that will be held on December the 2nd.
We're looking at the 3rd.
Looking at the 3rd. Okay, date has not been finalized, but we're gonna have a Miss Vicksburg. We haven't had one the past couple of years, so congratulations to you. We're very thrilled that title is in your hands, and we're super excited. Almost forgot. All right, at this time we do have a couple of door prizes, and then you can hit the road. But I think a few of the Cadence Bank ladies are gonna help hand those out, and